Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria. I'm the creative director and interior designer for 305 Deco Living. Today you're going to be seeing something a little different than what you've seen on my channel. I'm going to show you exactly how I created this wreath behind me. I was contemplating on showing you how to create a summer wreath or a fall wreath, but since we're only a month away from fall, I said let me show you this wreath. This is a gigantic wreath. Everything I bought was in Hobby Lobby, so I will link everything for you in the description box below. And if you really love this and you love this channel, please subscribe, like this page, and give it a thumbs up so this way I can create more things for you now for the holidays. So let's continue. Now the wreath that I got was from Hobby Lobby, and I wanted to show you how big I got it and how you should measure as well. The wreath you should get should be probably touching the perimeter of the border of the door, and that's how big I want it. It's actually going to be a little bit bigger because once I put other flowers on it, it's going to be even bigger, but that's how I want it. I want it to be very big so you can see it from the street, and I like big wreaths, not small ones. So just make sure that when you buy it, you buy a very big, large wreath so it fits perfectly on the front door. We're going to continue later on so you can see exactly how I create this beautiful wreath for the fall. This wreath we're going to be creating with 3 different flowers. All the flowers and all the stuff that you see here I purchased at Hobby Lobby, and I'll link on the description below. The one thing you have to purchase is the wreath. So I got this wreath. I have a very large and wide door, so I wanted to make sure that mine was very big, and I just like big wreaths on my front doors. But again, you can get any size you like. I always go a little bigger, probably the size of the glass or almost as wide as your front doors, where I would tell you you'd have to purchase or look for. And then the flowers we're going to be choosing, and with the flowers that I actually chose, were the hydrangeas. They weren't the white ones, they were more of the creamier ones, just because again we're going into fall and I wanted more of a creamy look. But then I did go with the ranunculus flowers, and they're white. And then these roses, which come a bunch, which is going to save you a whole bunch of money. Again, these roses are more of a champagne color. And then of course you're going to need some glue sticks and your glue gun. Of course, this is a very heavy duty glue gun. It's very hot, so be very careful. And then again, pliers. If you know wire cutters, you're going to need as well, just if you have to cut off the flowers. Sometimes I just pull the flower off from the stem if I can, and then in other areas I'll probably just cut them off. But anyway, let's get started, guys. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the larger flower, which is the bunches of the roses that I got. These have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 roses. So I bought a bunch of them just in case I needed more, but it's always best to buy more than less. You can always return them. So what I do with these is that I'm going to pull them off from the stem. This way you don't have to use the wire cutter. And they have different and small sizes on here. At the end we'll probably use some of the foliage to add into the wreath. I am not going to be adding any of the Spanish moss on here, which usually you do, just because Hobby Lobby, I don't know what happened, they were out of it and I couldn't find not even one bag. So at the end of the day, you're really not going to see it anyway. If you want to add that afterwards, you can, maybe on the sides. If you find it, maybe in your hometown, you'll find it, and you can always add in that just to give it more of a fall look, but this is probably going to be covered completely. So we're going to always start with the larger flower first. You want to make sure you want to know where your center is. So my center was probably going to be here, or probably going to be right here. So my center is going to be here, and for me, I'm going to be adding this beautiful ribbon that I had monogrammed, and I got it at Etsy, which I'll also link for you as well. You can get anything on here, you can always change it. And I got a couple. I got one with the pumpkin, I got one now for fall with my monogramming, my initial, and also I got one with a nutcracker on there as well, which she's a great embroiderer, and I will link that for you as well. But anyway, it's gonna go here. So I'm gonna make believe I'm gonna have a space right here in the middle, knowing this is gonna be the middle of my wreath. So I'm gonna place that right there just to make sure I don't put anything there. So we're gonna start with the larger flour, and we're gonna add glue. Just be very careful. This is extremely hot, as you can see. There's a lot of smoke coming out of here. So we're gonna put it there. And then we're gonna start adding it up and down middle, up, down, middle. So we're gonna do now a smaller one. And now we need more glue stick. Okay, put this down. There we go. And we're gonna add more. We're gonna add it up here. So you're covering probably the edge, and we're gonna do a small one now. Over here. And then we're gonna go in the middle with the bigger one, and you're gonna continue doing this until you finish with all of the roses that you have here from that one bunch. We're gonna add maybe a small one, because we did a big one over here. We'll do a small one over here. And again, you don't have to cover the whole thing. The whole thing is about making it look a little bit, you know, like it wasn't bought somewhere. You actually made it yourself. And that's the whole thing about the character of the wreath when you do it yourself, that you know you did it and you're kind of happy you did it. And then we're gonna do this one right here, a small one on the other side. Okay, and we're gonna put it over here. Again, you can see a little bit of the branches on the wreath, which is perfectly fine. We're gonna do a big one now in the middle. Okay. Look how much it fills. It does fill up a lot of this piece right here. Perfect. And we're gonna add a small one on this side. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna use the next flower, which is the hydrangea. Now I got the hydrangeas in a green color, and I also got them in a white color. See? Here we go. Green and white, so we're gonna add the green one. Again, this I will not be able to pull out, so this I will have to use this wire cutter. Hopefully this works, because this is very, very heavy. Let's see how I do this. Here we go. Okay, wasn't that hard. Kind of twist it off. We're gonna take off some of these stems, and later on, like I said, don't throw them out, because we're gonna probably use them at the end just to add some foliage to our piece. And what I do is I take this whole stem and I stick it into the branches. So I'm gonna stick it right into the branches right here, right there. All right, perfect. Okay, now we're gonna continue turning it around, and we're gonna add another group of flowers. Again, we're gonna take off all of the flowers. And we're gonna do grouping. Again, we're gonna start with the small one on this side, because we finished with the small one on the other side. And just gonna continue doing this throughout the entire wreath. And the reason why I'm adding a hydrangea is, first of all, it's a different flower, and number two, I'm adding some color to the wreath so it's not all cream. And the ranunculus we're gonna end sporadically within the arrangement at the end. Gonna put the big one. We're just gonna keep going. Okay, now we're done with all these flowers here. And now we're gonna add the other hydrangea, which is in white. So we're gonna do green, white, green, white. So again, I'm gonna cut this off. off the greenery. We're gonna add, take off the tag. We're gonna add some glue on the stem and stick it right into the branch. There we go. And now we're going to continue adding more and more and more. So I'm going to go and speed up this video. So like that, you can see what I'm clearly doing here. Now the final will be the last set of flowers that we have going on here. You want to make sure that you put enough glue, because what you don't want is for your flowers to fall off once you hang up the wreath on the door. Now, since we know everything's in place, we're going to remove now the ranunculus flowers. Put some glue on there very lightly, because the rest of the flowers right here will actually will touch the stem and it'll just glue it on its own. So you don't have to go messy here. Let's take out each of the flowers. I'm just gonna not even take it out, I'm just gonna pull it out a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is glue it. And when I glue it, it's gonna attach itself to the rest of the other flowers on here. Just like that, you don't have to mess it up. And we're done. I have one more here. And we're done. Okay? Now let's add some of the greenery. I would use this greenery. I would just pull it off from here. You don't have to worry about cutting off the stem. They come off very easily. You don't need a lot either. And again, we're gonna place them, not glue them, because I do like greenery, but not a lot of it either. So let's just start placing them where we think we like them. And what I do, I go in a zigzag sort of way. I place one in the middle. It all depends how much greenery you like on here. One more over here. I think it looks pretty. I think it needs one over there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one is going to be 6, which is right here. You can see it. And then we're going to add, so it's even, and then we're going to add one over here. And one up here. Just to even it out. One up here. Glue the little ends here. Okay, so here's the hydrangea wreath, and it's really big. So I'm gonna place it on my door, and I'm gonna see now if they look nice in here, if they're sporadically done. You can always move them around. And I think it looks very, very pretty, guys. Look how beautiful. We're gonna add here then my beautiful ribbon on the bottom, and then we're gonna add all the greenery to the top. So this is what it looks like so far. So now we're gonna add my ribbon to the ends, and that's it. There. Tie it into a knot. Add some more glue to the 2 hydrangeas. I realized that I needed to put them here. So look, I did use them all. So if I have the green here, I'm gonna put the white here, and the white here, I'm gonna put the green. So we're gonna stick them right in here. Make sure that you do not touch, the glue does not touch the ribbon, because eventually you're gonna end up by changing that ribbon. And then we're gonna place it over here on the other side, and then we're done. So this way, you hide the remaining of the wreath that you could see. That's it. You have it. There's your wreath, guys.